Welcome to the Truth to You Daily Podcast, a podcast designed for teenagers who want to learn more about God's Word and how it impacts our daily lives. Journey with us as we set out to explore God's timeless truth one day at a time. Hello and welcome back to the Truth to You podcast. It's Thursday and I just want to say good morning to you or good afternoon, however you're listening. Hey, these are strange times, are they not? We are just living in some very interesting times. Here of late, the virus has greatly affected all of our schedules. And if you're a teenager, you are probably listening to this from your own home, being as how the school schedule has been altered and all of that stuff. But I just want to let you know that we're here for you. Even though the doors of the church are not open per se to congregating, I just want to let you know that me and Miss Christina, we are available to you. You can reach us through text or social media or however is fine. And we're going to continue right on doing these daily devotionals. We're probably going to spend some time on Instagram Live, and we'll schedule a time where we can interact with you guys and spend a little bit of time online with you. I think that would be a neat thing, considering the fact that right now we're not able to meet for teen time and other things like that. Concerning teen time, boy, it just pains me that we can't meet together, but we want to continue to give you access to the things that you need so that we can continue to collect points from week to week. And so I sent out our point cards through our parent email addresses, and so you should have access to that. And if you'll just keep track of your points, and as far as services, attendance, and all of that, of course, that applies to live stream and any notes that you take. Just kind of keep those on hand, and so you know full well the record that you've kept, and so that when we all come back together on the other side of this thing, you can show your team leader, and we can go from there, okay? Hey, just like we've been doing, we'll continue to do a verse for the week. And this week I've chosen Psalm 37 and verse 25, and I really love this verse, and I think it's important, especially right now, for us to remember. Psalm 37:25, I have been young, and now am old, yet have I not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. This is David speaking here, and David's lived a full life. And he looks back over the course of the ups and downs, the mountaintop experiences and the valleys. And he looks back and he says, you know what? I've never seen a righteous individual completely forsaken of God. I've not seen that. And nor have I seen his seed, his children, begging bread. I just haven't seen that. God has always taken care of his children. And teenager, that's a wonderful and comforting thought for us even today, as we're spending a lot more time indoors, as maybe you haven't seen your friends for a good while. Sometimes it can be easy to just get discouraged in that. But understand this, God is everything that we could need during this time, and it's verses like this that help us remember that. Let me read that one more time. Psalm 37 verse 25, I have been young and now am old, yet have I not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. We're going to commit this to memory over the course of the next week and really take some time to apply it to our hearts. Such a great verse. Hey, you're most likely in 2 Samuel chapter 12. That's the chapter that we had on the schedule to read today. And let me just say, because you have extra time, and I know I've talked to some teens who've already been doing this, but maybe, throw a psalm in there in your devotions. Read a psalm and read a chapter out of 2 Samuel. I promise you that that'll be a great blessing to you. And the Psalms, of course, are always a great source of encouragement during difficult times. But let's go ahead and notice 2 Samuel chapter number 12, and I want to notice verse 14 here. Look at what it says. Howbeit, because this deed thou hast given great occasion to the enemies of the Lord to blaspheme, This is Nathan the prophet talking to David after his great sin with Bathsheba. He killed Uriah, and now Nathan the prophet comes. He confronts him, and David automatically says, "You know what? I have sinned. I've done wrong." Nathan basically says, "You know what? The Lord's going to forgive you for that, David, but something you need to consider is this, is that you have given a great cause, great occasion," he says, "for the enemies of God to blaspheme against the Lord." In other words, you have given ammunition to those who don't love the Lord, to those who don't follow the Lord, to those who even hate the Lord. You've given great ammunition for them to turn and look at you and say, "Who are you? You claim to be one of God's followers. You claim to be a child of God. And yet your life is no different than the way that we live." And that's a sad thing. And it wasn't just you've given them a little ammunition. Nathan uses the word great here. Great occasion to blaspheme against the Lord. And if the ultimate purpose of man is to bring glory and honor to the Lord, when we sin, we're doing quite the opposite of that. In fact, Nathan's very descriptive here in what he says to David. And I would just put this thought to you. As we navigate this challenging time with the virus and all of what's going on right now around the world, there are some things that we could do in reaction to this that could give ammunition to those who don't believe in God. And one of those things certainly would be to overreact or to be stressed out. Because in reality, the world is watching. Social media, media in general, there are so many avenues that connect us all, and people are watching to see how you react. And so, teenager, as you sit at home, as you maybe do a little bit of schoolwork or try to keep yourself busy, understand that during this time we should be intentional about encouraging others, about professing our faith in God, being on the front foot of this, not just standing back and tuning into the news all day, just absorbing all of that information of what's going on and everything. No, turn your thoughts to truth. Spend extra time with the Lord, and as people respond around you to what's going on, God's going to give you opportunities to where you can bring glory to Him, where people can see that your life has stability because of the God that you love and serve. You know what? The last thing that I want to do, the last thing that I believe that you want to do, teenager, is to give the people who do not follow the Lord ammunition to believe that you and I are no different than the things that they follow after, but rather that God should bring a stabilizing force to each of our lives, and that should be evident, especially during times of trouble. So let's consider this thought, and even as you go about your day, chew on this a little bit. Hey, contact another teenager. Say, hey, did you hear the thought on the podcast today? Did what does that mean to you? How have you seen that played out in your lives? And let's take this time to become and to invoke more spiritual conversations, not less. Let's take the time to draw closer to the Lord and closer to each other in a spiritual manner. And I know the Lord would be pleased with that. God has some lessons for me to learn during this time. And He has some lessons for you to learn during this time. And so let's not miss those. I hope that you'll join us here again tomorrow. I've gone from recording these weekly in one setting to doing them every morning. So as the news changes, as things alter, come back and let's spend some time together as we have a new and a fresh thought from His Word every day. All right? Listen, I hope if you need something that you'll reach out to me. And we are here for you, like I said. We want to help you in any way that we can. And like I said, we'll look forward to spending maybe some time together online, Instagram Live, something like that here in the future. We'll get the word out so you know when that is. All right? Hey, thanks for joining us again. Want to mention before we leave the teenager of the day, and that is Jaden. We're praying for Jaden R., and ask the Lord to help him during this time, and the Lord to give him great guidance, wisdom, and comfort as we all need that. Thanks again for joining us. You have a great rest of your day.